Good evening and welcome to another video. Today is Friday the 12th of August 2016, and in tonight's video I'm going to review the PDC 2016 darts season so far. Now August is a quiet month for the PDC and most players don't play any ranking events in August, so I thought this would be the perfect time to do a review of the season so far. So we'd start with the months of January, and January saw Gary Anderson crowned back-to-back world champion. They then moved on to Q School, which took place over 4 days, and on day one the most notable name that got a Q School card was John Bowles. Then in day two the most notable name was James Richardson, who has went on and did some good things in 2016. And then in day three the former BDO player Jeffrey de Graaf got his Q School card, and then on day four, the last person that had 9 darter in the European Tour, Ross Smith, got his card. In the order of merit, there was cards given to Mark Walsh and John Michael. Now, John Michael's a fantastic Greek player who has really showed his worth on the European Tour this year. You've got the Scotsman Mark Borelli and Mark Clark. They're more old school players who got cards. And also, talk about old school players, you can't go many more old school than Dennis Smith and Mike McGowan. They are two old school players. And to round off January, we've seen the Unibet Masters, and Michael van Gerwen won this event. He continued his run in this event of winning it. He beat Stephen Bunting 10-1, he beat Michael Smith 10-3, he beat Phil Taylor by 11 legs to 10, that was the closest he got to anyone, and he beat Dave Chisel in the final by 11 legs to 6. Outside that, Dave Chisel had a very good run. He came from 8-0 down in his first round match against Robert Thornton to win the match by 10 legs to 9. It was interesting that world champion Gary Anderson, Adrian Lewis and Ryan van Barneveld all lost first round. They went back up to speed after taking the month of January off. So let's bounce ahead to February now. February saw the start of the Premier League, but we're going to talk about the Premier League in its entirety at this point of the video. And we've seen in week 9 it was 3 between 2 relegation spaces. 2 had to go, as I said before, and it was between 3 people. Robert Thornton managed to survive with 4 points, but we lost Dave Chisnell with 3 points and a minus 14 leg difference. And bottom of the table, we've seen Michael Smith lose out with 3 points and a minus 26 leg difference. So they two were cut well apart from Robert Thornton, who didn't do much after the split. Now, moving on, we'll go and talk about the later parts of the competition. Now, the 4 semi-finalists were Michael van Gerwen, who topped the group. In second place was Phil Taylor, in third place was Gary Anderson, and in fourth place was Adrian Lewis. Now, Michael van Gerwen won the Premier League. He beat Adrian Lewis 10-4 in the semi-final, and Phil Taylor won his semi-final 10-7 against the world champion Gary Anderson. But then Michael van Gerwen put a sublime performance in the final against Phil Taylor, which he won 11 legs to 3. Phil Taylor just wasn't anywhere near Michael van Gerwen's level in that match. We went on and they started the European Tour in Holland. There's no surprises who won this event. It was Michael van Gerwen. Started off the European season just like he did last season with a win on the European Tour in Holland. And there was also a good run by Daryl Gurney in this competition. He reached the final, only getting beat by Michael van Gerwen. There was also good weekends for Mensur Suljovic and Mervyn King, who both reached the quarter-finals. And Simon Whitlock rolled back a couple of years, reaching the quarter-finals in this competition. We'll move on to March now. Now, March saw the UK Open take place. It was televised on ITV4, and no surprise who won this competition. It was Michael van Gerwen. Continues fast start to 2016 after the World Championships. He defeated Peter Wright 11-4 in the final, and yet again Peter Wright fell short against Michael van Gerwen in a major final. The biggest story in this event was the run of Barry Lynn, who reached the quarter-finals, only losing out to Michael van Gerwen. He beat Gary Anderson in his run along the way. He absolutely tore him apart in that match, did Barry Lynn, and he was only just beat by Michael van Gerwen in the quarter-finals. Jelle Klaassen also had a decent run at the UK Open back in his decent end to 2015. He reached the semi-final of the UK Open. Also, other mentionable performances were Kyle Anderson, Joe Cullen and Mark Webster, who all reached the quarter-finals of this event. And the European Tour, we're going to go back to now, that took its next stop in Munich, Germany, and it's seen Michael van Gerwen continue his winning run on the European Tour, beating Peter Wright again in the final by 6 legs to 4. Joe Cullen backed up his quarter-final run at the UK Open with a semi-final in this competition. Michael Smith also defied his Premier League form, showing a good run to the semi-final in this European Tour event. There was also good runs for James Richardson and Chris Dobey, who both reached the quarter-finals. Now, nothing much took place in April in the PDC wise, so we'll skip on to May, and we've seen the European Tour continue on to Gibraltar for event 3, and there was no shock result again. Michael van Gerwen made it 3 out of 3, and copying his run from 2015. He beat Dave Chisnell 6-2 in the final. Now, Dave Chisnell had been a bit of poor form since mid-February, so it was very impressive and important that he reached the final of this competition in Gibraltar. The home nation were also interested until Sunday evening, with Dyson Pardy reaching the quarter-finals before losing a very tight match against the eventual winner Michael van Gerwen by 6 legs to 5. Interesting enough, in this competition, both semi-finals, which Michael van Gerwen and Dave Chisnell won, they both won by 6 legs to 0. We then carried on the European Tour in Hamburg in Germany, and Michael van Gerwen's run of European Tour wins stopped in this event by James Wade. He lost in the semi-final 6-2 to James Wade, who went on and won the competition, edging out Dave Chisnell in the final by 6 legs to 5. It was a good spell for Dave Chisnell, backing up his final in Gibraltar with a final in Hamburg. Also, the home nation in this competition had interest until the Sunday evening when Max Hopp reached the quarter-finals. Unfortunately, he lost 6-4 to Peter Wright. The end of May saw the first event of the World Series, which took place in Dubai. That's the outdoor event, which is unique on the PDC calendar, and it was quite breezy on the first evening. Adrian Lewis, amongst other players, suffered in the outdoor conditions. But it was Gary Anderson who went on and won the competition. He turned on the style in all his matches near the end of the matches. He generally started quite slow in his matches, and especially in the final where he was 8-4 down against Michael van Gerwen, he went on to win the match by 11 legs to 9 against Michael van Gerwen. Moving on to June. June saw the World Cup of Darts in Frankfurt. Now, we saw a regulation final in this, which was seen in previous years. We've seen England versus Holland. England had beat Northern Ireland in the semi-finals, which was an absolute terrific run for Northern Ireland, and Brendan Dolan and Daryl Gurney, who had played brilliantly all weekend. But the final was an intense affair, and Phil Taylor struck first against Michael van Gerwen, beating him by 4 legs to 3. But Ryan van Barneveld struck back for the Netherlands, beating Adrian Lewis by 4 legs to 3. Then the Dutch pair won by 4 legs to 2, putting the title only one match a win away. But then Phil Taylor beat Ryan van Barneveld by 4 legs to 1 to force a decider and 5th rubber in this World Cup final. It was a very tense affair. Both matches, lots of darts at doubles in this match, but Adrian Lewis held his nerve to win this match by 4 legs to 1 to give England a 4th World Cup success. We've seen the 5th event in the European Tour, which is held in Vienna, Austria, and this continued the non-Michael van Gerwen winning streak. We've seen Phil Taylor enter his first European Tour event of the year, which he won. Now, he beat Michael Smith 6-4 in the final. Kyle Anderson also had a very impressive run in this competition. He beat Michael van Gerwen in the quarterfinals by 6 legs to 4 before eventually losing in the semi-finals to Phil Taylor by 6 legs to 5. There was a return to form for Terry Jenkins as well, who also reached the semi-final before coming up short against Michael Smith by 6 legs to 4. There was also a shock run in this competition for Nigel Hayden, who reached the quarter-final. It's a great run for the man nicknamed The Undertaker. The World Series also continued at the end of June, and we've seen wins in Auckland for Gary Anderson, and we've seen a win in Shanghai for Michael van Gerwen, which got him back on the winning horse. July started with the World Series again, and Gary Anderson won it in Tokyo, picking his third World Series title of the year so far. We then moved on to Blackpool and the World Match Play, which is the second biggest event on the PDC calendar, and it was Michael van Gerwen who got back to winning ways again. He only lost 31 legs in his 5 matches. It was the strangest final ever in a PDC major, in my opinion. Phil Taylor acted very, very strange in this match, and if you haven't watched it, you need to watch this final back. It's the most bizarre final you'll ever see. Michael van Gerwen didn't let Phil Taylor's antics get to him, and Michael van Gerwen got the job done in this match by 18 legs to 10. It was a strange week. We never seen one match go into extra legs, which is very unusual to see at the match play. Generally, you see at least 3 or 4 go into extra time, but this was a unique match play which seen no matches do that. We also seen Steve Beaton roll back the years this week. He reached the quarterfinals before coming unstuck against the world champion Gary Anderson. I can't think of anything really special to talk about in this competition other than that, but maybe the tension and the build up between Adrian Lewis and Gerwin Price game. They had a Twitter beef before their game, but I really didn't mean too much in the actual match. It was a very, very poor match, which Adrian Lewis actually won. But it was built up and it just fell flat in its face. It just didn't live up to the hype. The final thing we're going to talk about is European Tour and the 6th event on that this year. We went to Dusseldorf, and that's the last time the PDC will ever use this venue. It's been the home of some terrific darts in the past, and we've seen Michael van Gerwen beat Peter Wright in another final, this time by 6 legs to 5. Peter Wright didn't have any match darts in this match, so he didn't bottle it against Michael van Gerwen. He never got the chance to win the match, just like normal times. I don't think that Peter Wright's ever missed a match start against Michael van Gerwen. But apart from that, there was no really surprise runs in this competition. And with that, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video. If you want to have any feedback on this video, you can do so via my YouTube comment section, which is below this video, or via my Twitter, which I'll leave in the description below. And until tomorrow with another video, I will see you then. Goodbye.